tell me now. Okay, and again, we had one there before, let's do it again. Colette! Colette? Colette's here, yeah, okay. Hi, Colette. Okay, after you. Please, where are you from? And also, how are you feeling?
Good.
Good.
Anyway.
That's a good answer.
I'm from Chad. I'm from an NGO calling Lead Chad. It's Leadership for Environment and Development. I'm being member of GNDR since 6 years. I'm very happy to come to Malaysia. Very surprised because, yeah, it's a very progressing country. So I'm here for sharing and for engaging more because I have more than 5 years in this network, but I think I'm not doing very well. So I think it's a challenge, my own challenge, to be more engaged. I learned a lot from this network because I use the information I learned from the network for advocacy in my country. So this is the more advantage I have taken so far.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Let's give Colette a round of applause. Fantastic. Let's do one more. One more. Let's see if we can find somebody else who hasn't had a microphone yet. Is Ruti here? Yes. Okay. There's a microphone coming your way, Ruti.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. I just want to correct the pronunciation of my name. It's not Ruti, it's Ruiz. So I'm Ruiz from Kiribati. So on behalf of the Foundation for the People of the South Pacific in Kiribati, I'm happy to be part of this summit here, and I'm happy to share the experiences that we have with the VFL and the Frontline program.
Wonderful, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, let's have a round of applause. Let's keep those energy. Who's feeling energetic? Who's ready for the gym? Did anybody go to the gym today? Really? No, okay. There is still time this evening. Okay, so how were your regional conversations? Okay, we broke into 3 different rooms, and there were, I joined one of the conversations, some fantastic questions, challenges, different perspectives being shared, and I'm sure the same was going on in the other rooms too. So we're inviting the RDCs, the Regional Development Coordinators, just to share just a minute or so in terms of some of the headlines that were talked about in your different rooms. So we're going to start with, I think we're going to the Americas room first. So Marve, I think you were in that room. So if you don't speak Spanish, you'll need your headphones at this particular moment. And Marve will give us some headlines from the regional conversations in the Americas.
Muy bien. Hola. Hola, hola.
Hola.
Hola. Ahí sí. Bien. En nuestro grupo estuvieron, por supuesto, los representantes de América del Sur, Centroamérica, Caribe y también América del Norte. Los temas que se conversaron fueron fundamentalmente gobernanza, para comprender cuáles eran las instancias de gobernanza y cómo se toman las decisiones en la red global. Y cómo, digamos, también la región puede tener poco de incidencia interna, cuáles son las personas que llevan la voz desde la región al Consejo Global, nuestros asesores regionales y un poco cómo funciona, cómo se comunican los distintos niveles. Otros temas que salieron también tienen que ver con visión de primera línea, con la implementación de proyectos, pero fundamentalmente algunas inquietudes que tenían que ver con la necesidad de fortalecer alianzas tanto con otros actores de la sociedad civil como con otros actores que no son de la sociedad civil para avanzar en varios sentidos. En el primer caso, entre organizaciones de la sociedad civil para tener mayor presencia y estar fortalecida la voz de la sociedad civil en instancias de decisión como son las plataformas regionales. Se informó, por lo tanto, acerca de algunos proyectos que están en marcha y cómo estos proyectos están, de alguna manera, fortaleciendo este ámbito, la generación de alianzas, como también llegar con evidencias desde la primera línea. Otro tema era justamente ese, cómo llegar a las distintas instancias de incidencia con las voces de la primera línea, poner de alguna manera no solamente que sean las ONG las que estén presentes, sino que también sean los líderes y las lideresas locales. Cuestión que estamos avanzando y que se planteó también que es un desafío dentro de la propia red global, que por ejemplo en instancias como esta haya mayor presencia de líderes y lideresas locales. Se habló sobre la necesidad de mejorar la comunicación, porque estamos desarrollando muchas iniciativas en ámbitos que son de interés de los miembros, pero que por distintas circunstancias todavía no hemos logrado tener una plataforma que nos permita tener una mejor comunicación, que los miembros estén mejor informados y que al mismo tiempo nos dé la posibilidad de intercambiar información y experiencia. Y en ese sentido Emma nos ayudó y informó al grupo de que viene una iniciativa que intenta mejorar las formas de comunicarnos y mejorar también las formas de intercambiar experiencias e información entre los distintos miembros. Mayor presencia en el Caribe. En nuestra región se planteó la necesidad de tener una presencia más fuerte en el Caribe, así que dimos la información de que el Caribe no solamente que es una tarea que nosotros consideramos que está pendiente, sino que además prontamente tanto para el Caribe como para América del Norte se va a convocar a elecciones para la selección de sus representantes al Consejo Global. No sé si me olvidé de algo. La política de membresía fue la última inquietud y tiene que ver, especialmente lo planteó una ONG internacional que tiene representaciones nacionales y también representaciones regionales. Entonces no tenía claro y lo único que pudimos decir es que todavía no se implementa, que nosotros pensamos que antes de implementarse va a haber una consulta y por supuesto una información amplia de cómo van a ser los procedimientos de la recategorización de membresía. Bueno, eso creo que fue lo que hablamos. No,
Thank you very much. Okay, over to the Africa and West and Central Asia conversation, I guess.
Ok, thank you. Je vais parler en français. Donc, mettez vos casques, s'il vous plaît. Voilà. Donc, la réunion de l'Afrique a eu lieu. La salle était bien à craquer, elle était bien pleine. Tout le monde était là. Nous avions 3 représentants de board et Afrique et Asie, d'accord. admettons Afrique, Afrique et Asie, partie arabe. Voilà. Voilà. Donc, il y avait 3 membres du conseil d'administration. Il y a M. Pita, Dr. Emad et puis M. Kéchoua, qui était représentant respectif de leur région. Mais il y avait aussi M. Prim, qui était membre donc, du conseil, du groupe de conseil donc, de l'Afrique de l'Est, qui était aussi à la table d'honneur. Donc, on a eu à partager essentiellement les défis auxquels la région était confrontée, mais aussi certaines frustrations qui essentiellement sont liées probablement à des questions de communication essentiellement. Donc les membres du conseil ont un tout petit peu expliqué la mission qui est la leur, ce qu'ils font jusqu'alors et les défis auxquels ils sont confrontés. Après leur explication, les membres ont aussi posé certaines questions de compréhension, mais surtout de communication interrégionale. Donc le débat était axé sur la communication interrégionale, mais aussi sur les questions de ressources, donc de disponibilité de ressources. Il était question, on est parti involontairement vers une approche comparative où on essayait de voir ce qui se fait dans une région par rapport à une autre. On a compris que certaines régions sont beaucoup moins représentées. Certains membres aussi se sont sentis pas totalement impliqués et ont exprimé essentiellement leur envie d'être beaucoup plus impliqués dans les activités que même le réseau. Nous sommes aussi parvenus à constater que la communication a fait défaut par moment, pas parce qu'il n'y avait pas d'information, mais aussi parce que les gens n'allaient pas trop à l'information. Les gens ne lisaient pas dans les détails parfois les informations qui passaient. Donc, nous sommes parvenus à certaines conclusions ou certaines recommandations, dont la nécessité de mettre un accent sur les responsabilités des structures. Donc, quelle est la mission du conseil d'administration? Quelle est la mission donc, de l'exécutif? Et quelle est la mission des membres? Parce qu'on a compris qu'il faut forcément une complémentarité entre les membres pour que le système soit huilé et qu'il fonctionne très bien. Malheureusement, ce système-là n'est pas forcément huilé parce que quelque part, toutes les structures ne sont pas toujours au rendez-vous. Et cela, ce n'est pas pour légitimer la mission de n'importe quelle structure que ce soit. Toutes les structures peuvent encore mieux faire, les membres y compris. Il faut aussi encourager la communication, surtout entre les board members et les membres. Donc, les membres du conseil d'administration, probablement, il faut mettre plus un espace de communication entre eux et leurs membres, pour que chacun puisse mieux comprendre la mission qui est assignée à l'autre. Et comment est-ce que les membres du board contribuent au renforcement des réseaux au niveau régional. Enfin, il faut aussi encourager la mobilisation des ressources au niveau régional et national. Donc, les membres sont revenus plusieurs fois sur les questions de ressources et on a compris que si GNDR avait tout l'argent du monde et pouvait le distribuer à toutes les organisations, probablement il n'y aurait pas grand débat sur les ressources. Donc, pour régler ce problème-là ou pallier au problème, on encourage les organisations au niveau national et aussi au niveau régional à aller vers des activités de mobilisation de ressources afin que chacune puisse avoir la disponibilité financière nécessaire pour exécuter les activités concrètes. Enfin, ça a été un sujet qu'on n'a pas abordé mais qui me paraît important et merci de m'avoir laissé le micro, je vais profiter pour le faire immédiatement. Nous sommes en train de mettre en place actuellement un espace communautaire où les membres et les board members peuvent se rencontrer et discuter. Nous avons lancé le processus de recatégorisation et c'est le lieu pour moi d'inviter tout le monde, mais spécialement les membres de l'Afrique, à aller rapidement à ce nouvel outil afin que nous puissions beaucoup plus nous rencontrer de temps en temps et que nous puissions discuter. Et je parie que si nous arrivions à le faire d'ici 2 ans, si on se retrouvait, les problèmes ne seront plus les mêmes. Voilà de façon ramassée très rapidement ce que nous avions fait pendant les 40 minutes qui nous ont été dédiées. Je vous remercie.
Thank you, Odysseus. Fantastic. Ideas, questions, challenges, progress, challenges to address, lots was talked about in that room. Fantastic, thank you. And finally, let's go over to the Asia and Pacific conversation.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much. But I'm not very sure if I am ready to provide the feedback. And you know why? Because we couldn't yet finish the session. We actually overran the session by 20 minutes, but still the interest in the room was so intense and so high, and the members were so interested to raise they have so many questions in their mind that we finally decided to really extend these sessions tomorrow. So we will be reconvening again with the Pacific and the Asia members from 5 to 7 tomorrow. Anyways, the discussions that we had this afternoon is basically, we are very fortunate, like we had 4 board representatives, regional representative with us. We had Farah, we had Blue, and Papilua representing like South Asia, Southeast, East Asia, and Pacific. And we also had like Jen with us as an independent board representative. We also have like one representative from the South Asia regional steering group. So initially we had some discussions, like some basic questions that we were discussing centered around their experience and like their backgrounds and everything. But once the actual discussion started, I mean the questions and answers and the members started raising their concerns and issues, we really got really very exciting suggestions and like the way forward, going forward. Like just few of them, if I can just like, and I can take few moments, right? So few of them, like the discussions we had, like there were 2-3 members who were kind of proposing their assistance pro bono, like a volunteer, to the network related one. Well, network association is a volunteer association, but still like doing something related to the operations. There were members who were like kind enough to saying like, I'm ready to offer my own time if that helps others, which is very encouraging actually. There were discussions about like the big event, the Asian ministerial meeting is coming up. So members were asking like, what's the plan for the network and how we can collaborate with others and everything. Even there was a suggestion like if the GNDR members in the Asia can start the process of like drafting a concept note from the GNDR. We say like we will definitely look into these possibilities and try to kind of like convene a small group who can really initiate this process partly. One issue came up like several times that was related to the strengthening our relationships with regional and national networks. Like we are working with the networks, but how we can kind of like make it more strengthened. Continuation of plan. So one member from Bangladesh, she was asking about like in the last global summit we decided on some action plan, but apparently the kind of like pursuing of that plan was not happening that strongly. So our board was, the response from our board was like, the plan was done by the members, and it's the responsibility of the members to make it happen. So it's like basically sending the ball to the boards. I mean, Secretariat is a support entity, and Secretariat has a certain capacity to do a certain amount of things. So whatever we decide, and whatever we're going to decide even for this summit, it's our joint responsibility to make those things happen. There was also suggestion of like developing expertise pool, like if we have a detailed database, like where we have like all the name and the details of like the different members and their capacities. So that can be very different. So that's all. So we are hoping like tomorrow, once we will be reconvening, there will be more discussions, and so many hands were there. So we'll be getting more exciting solutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. Lots of rich discussions. It's good to hear that those are going to be continuing. This evening, you know, there is some open time for those conversations to be continuing as well, if you want to make the most of those times. So great, thank you. Thanks for those playback to our 3 RDCs. And a question for you all, really, just as we did yesterday. So 3 questions for you to consider for yourself. And you may want to get out your sheet that is in your lanyard and reflect on what you wrote down yesterday. So yesterday you were invited to kind of think about your aims for the next day. So take a look at what you wrote, or recall what your aims were as you thought about that. And then ask yourself, so what have I found useful today? You've been in different places, different meeting rooms, different conversations, different reflections from different people, some different perspectives. some ideas, some challenges raised. So what have you, as an individual, what have you found particularly useful for you today? And just take a moment to get that clear in your mind. And then a second question, when you look around the room, think about the conversations you've had with people. Maybe it was within the regional conversations, maybe it was on the bus, maybe it was people you were sat next to in the event this morning, maybe it's people you've sat next to during the day. So who do you want to speak to this evening? What are the conversations maybe you started but want to have some more? Who are people around here that you haven't yet met? So have a look around the room. Who do you want to speak to this evening? Somebody that you want to make sure that you make time for this evening. And then final question, and you might want to jot that down in your daily journal. What are your aims for tomorrow? Tomorrow the theme is collaboration. There are a number of different sessions to choose from, different conversations to be had. What are your aims for tomorrow? And it might help you just to jot that down to remind yourself tomorrow morning what you're hoping to achieve during the day. Okay, let me just check in. Everybody clear about who they want to speak to this evening? Yeah? Everybody clear about their aims for tomorrow?
Yes.
Great. Has anyone found anything useful today? Yes. Okay, good. That's a good answer. I like that answer. Okay, fantastic. So let's just talk through what's going to be happening this evening, just so because there are a number of things happening this evening, so that you know what happens right now. Lucy's going to help me on this.
Yes. So we'll have dinner in the hotel tonight, as I know everyone's a bit tired from their journey excursion out this morning. So you can have dinner down in the hotel lobby where we've had lunch and breakfast each day, any point from 7. There'll be an area, I think, cornered off by GNDR, or if you're asked, it's charged to GNDR. So that covers your meal for tonight. Do take that opportunity to talk and meet with someone new. Perhaps there's someone that you think might be able to help you with that challenge that you wrote down on our first day. And then a couple of reminders for tomorrow. We'll be back here. Oh, I'm being told actually that dinner is once again in the intern suite. Sorry about that. So the room that we were in yesterday when we got to hear all the delightful singing and dancing, we're back in that room tonight at 7 p.m.
Singing and dancing is still optional, right?
It's still an option if anyone wants to perform. And then a couple of reminders for tomorrow. We're in here at 8:30 tomorrow. Please do get here promptly. We'll have some energizers, and then we've got a really interesting session where we're analysing a multi-stakeholder partnership. We've got some different actors involved in a partnership, and we're going to have a look at what worked well and what transferable lessons you guys can take away. Do tonight locate your Jenga block. We will be using it, so please do find that. And the other thing, a bit of housekeeping.
The Jenga block, the building block that's on your table, the one that you wrote your name on. Don't lose that one. Make sure you bring that tomorrow.
Keeping hers close to her chest. Good. Another reminder: there is still a few spaces left in the Partnership Brokers training session that is at 2 p.m. tomorrow. This is the session that is being conducted in English and in French. If you would like to attend that, please do sign up as you leave at the back. The Spanish session is completely full, so if any Spanish speakers who can speak English would like to join the session tomorrow at 2 p.m, please do join, and maybe you also want to free up some spaces for some other Spanish colleagues if you can speak both languages, and so sign up to the session that's being conducted in English and French at 2 p.m. tomorrow. And finally, 2 interpretation devices from this morning when we visited a the government site have gone missing. If you accidentally slipped it into your pocket or your bag, please do hand it back to any of the Secretariat staff as you leave. We won't tell who it was.
A couple of other things. So there is a governance conversation going on, I think 4 or 5 of you. So those of you know who's involved in that. That happens immediately when we finish now with Jonathan down here. And there is a board get-together at 6 o'clock. Where to meet in one of the other rooms out there? One of those rooms. One of those rooms, yeah? Okay, one of the Serendai rooms, either Serendai 1 or Serendai 2. So board members at 6 o'clock this evening in Serendai 1 or Serendai 2, right next door to each other.
Okay, so 7 p.m, dinner in the Intan Suite. See you all there.
Okay? Everybody clear? Fantastic. Have a lovely evening. Keep the conversations going. See you tomorrow morning and this evening. Thank you.